Welcome to Live on Purpose Radio with Dr. Paul Jenkins, where you will hear inspiring stories of ordinary people doing extraordinary things. Feed your mind with a regular dose of positive energy and show up for your life every day on purpose. Living on purpose means that you have a purpose and you do it intentionally. And now, here's your host, Dr. Paul. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Live on Purpose Radio. This is Dr. Paul Jenkins. I am the shrink who expands your life. We're promoting pathological positivity today here at Live on Purpose Radio, and in a bigger way than normal, because I have a big guest with me today. Well, not in height, I guess. Elayna, I had to put that in. Sorry. Elayna Fernandez is known as the Positive Mom. In fact, if you go to that website, thepositivemom.com, you will see a picture of Elayna right there and some of the amazing things that she's doing to spread positivity, specifically as it relates to being a mom and a mompreneur, which is a new term that we've talked about a little bit here on the show. Elayna, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Paul. I am so excited to be here with you and with our audience and to, like you said, spread the positivity. And I am just really in awe of everything that you're doing. And thank you for the opportunity to spread my message here as well.
I am thrilled that you're here with us today. This is what brought us together, Elayna, because you had connected with me because we are both on this task. We're both in a project here of creating a more positive world in whatever way we can. I'm just looking at your website, Elayna. It says, be positive and you will be powerful.
Yes, that is my philosophy, because I think that when we indulge in the negativity that the world wants us to indulge in, we forget power. We forget that we have access to so many strengths and so many gifts that we are equipped with, and we forget to use them so that we can move on.
Right. And we get to choose what we focus on. Yeah. I expect that we'll get into that part of the conversation, but I would love to start out our listeners here with a little bit of background about who you are. When you and I chatted earlier, you shared with me some of your story. Talk to us for a minute about how this all started for you, this Positive Mom campaign that you're on. You became a mom several years ago, but don't let me tell the story. You take it from there, will you? Give us the background story, and then we'll build on that.
Absolutely. Well, this is a story that really is connected to my heart, because as you can imagine, because you're an amazing parent, the stories that we face that are ours as individuals are impactful and they have power in themselves. But when it is connected to our parenthood, to our children, they just get to our core. And I think that this is one of the most powerful experiences for me in my life, and really pivotal and creating what I'm living today. So, I started the journey of motherhood about 12 years ago. I moved from the Dominican Republic to live my fairy tale life with my husband, and we had two gorgeous, adorable babies, and they're not babies anymore.
No.
But, we had a marriage and we had goals, and like I said, I thought we would live happily ever after. And then one Florida night, this was in October of 2004, shortly, just 3 years after we got married, we moved cross-country, and we were living in this 200 square feet efficiency or room, and we were hoping to close on a house and to, just raise our babies. I was going to get back to work a little bit after They went to school. So we had our life planned out. And this particular night, I woke up in the middle of the night, and my husband was gone. And
wow.
yes, I look around, and I just, my heart pounded, and I just felt this darkness envelope me. And I'm sure that our listeners can imagine and can connect to this moment, because we've all had this moment of complete darkness in which we feel uncertain, and we feel this fear and this emotion of cluelessness. What am I going to do?
Right.
And I think we've all been in similar moments. And for me, it was tough, because not only it was fear and uncertainty and pain for me, I feared for my daughters. And thankfully, I found them there, and they were still with me, and that was very comforting. But in the same sense, I didn't have any money. I didn't have any family around, any supportive friends. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a driver's license. I didn't have a bank account. Can you imagine this moment for me?
You're painting quite a picture here. And you had come here from another country. You stand a whopping 4 foot something.
9.
4'9". Not that has anything to do with it, but I mean, here you are with these 2 little babies, all alone. And what are you going to do?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that while we're on that piece, I think that it's so important to ask the right questions. And I'm sure you agree with this, because your path is one of positivity, but also purpose. You know, and I at that moment, I was just in shock, and I didn't have an action plan. I didn't have a to-do list, you know, how we plan out our lives. And I had all that plan with them, and all of a sudden, you know, there was no plan A, no plan B, no plan C.
No plan at all.
Exactly. But I made a distinction in that moment, because I asked myself, you know, how can I move forward? So
Love it.
So instead of just dwelling in this pain, and I got in the fetal position. I tried to cry, I tried to scream, I couldn't. I felt this emptiness in my stomach, and I just didn't know what I was going to do. But I asked the question, how? And for me, God just blesses me every day, and I think it was kind of a vision that I had that said, you can do this. And what I thought about, because we get answers in the weirdest ways, was about the movie Life is Beautiful. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm not going to give away the movie, but the main piece for me at that moment was that you can paint a different picture for your kids. You have the power of being the artist, and they are the canvas. So what I thought about is how this person in this movie was undergoing these horrors, and he kept strong, and he kept happy, and he kept playful and hopeful. And what I thought about in that moment is he kept positive.
Yes.
And I said, I don't have to be a clueless mom, an angry mom, a resentful mom. I don't have to be anything but what I decide to be, and I can be a positive mom.
Oh, wow. You realized early on this is a choice.
Yes.
There are so many people who don't see that, Elayna. They don't see that it's a choice, and so they remain stuck in this perception that I can't.
Absolutely.
And
I think I would say illusion.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. You identified a powerful question here too. Instead of being trapped in that illusion of I can't, and really think about it psychologically, when we say we can't, or when we think that or believe it, our mind then sets out on a campaign to prove to us that we're right about that. It'll find all the evidence.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't do this. After all, I'm just a young mom. I'm out of my element here. I don't have a car. All right, that can go on forever, right?
Yes. Especially, with what just happened. It wasn't just that I lost a job or anything like that. I had lost the man that I thought was going to be
he was your plan.
Support. Yeah, my support for eternity, right?
Right.
And it was a very tough moment in which I could have just said, why me? Why has this happened to me? I'm going to die. My kids are going to die.
Yep.
I could have chosen differently. And I think, we, in the days and in the moments in which we choose to ask intelligent questions and to see the possibility and to see the choice, like you said, that is when we make miracles happen.
And that powerful question that you asked, how can I?
Exactly.
It steers the brain and the mind in a completely different direction, because now you're asking your mind to do something very different for you. Instead of finding all of the evidence that you can't, now we've given it a different task. Hey, mind, go find out how I can do this.
Absolutely.
And there's ways? You survived, didn't you?
Yes, I survived and I thrived, and now I can see the vision that I allowed to come in. I can see it manifested, because I think that when we choose a path that is aligned with our purpose, that opens up the possibilities. Like you said, it helps us find the evidence out there that we are powerful and that we can, through those positive choices, make reality be aligned with what we want it to be.
Yeah. And create it that way.
Absolutely.
So you actually had something to do with your success. It's not just luck. Would you agree?
I agree 100%. More if it could be. Yes.
You've taken on a lot of things in the past 12 years. Your whole life, I'm sure. But we're talking about a challenge that started for you as a young mom with 2 little babies. And now your girls are becoming beautiful adolescents. They're blossoming into their own. You've got a passion for parenting and for helping people to take a positive approach to it. So I want to pick your brain about that a little bit. Why is that so important to you?
Well, I really just love the fact that, like I said earlier, we have this ability to influence others. And I think that parenting is just such an opportunity for us to make a difference and to leave a legacy. And I'm really motivated to leave a mark on this planet. And I think that we all are. I think that our innate purpose is to influence others, is to serve, is to magnify that which we've been called to do on this earth. And so I think that through parenting is the best way that we can do it. And I can see the difference of, of course we are all, I would say, powerful, and we can do things, but we can also teach others how to do it.
Right. And what better way than to start with our own children?
Absolutely.
We'll expand that discussion right after we come back from the break. This is a passion of mine as well. And as we empower parents to do that, we change generations to come. We'll be right back. Thank you for listening to Live on Purpose Radio. We're so glad to have you here. Please come by the website, drpauljenkins.com, spelled with a D-R, drpauljenkins.com. On the website, you'll have an opportunity to receive a free download. And while you're there, make sure you click on the social media icons. Come over to Facebook, where we will be posting these episodes as well as our YouTube videos and other content and announcements for you to share. Please like us, comment, subscribe, join the conversation. We're happy to have you with us here at Live on Purpose Radio. Let's all support each other to live on purpose. drpauljenkins.com.
A leader must have the courage to act against an expert's advice. James Callaghan, British Prime Minister.
Hi, my name is Chris Crone, and thank you for listening to Live on Purpose Radio. I became financially independent, starting from nothing, by the age of 26. My purpose is to financially liberate the captive. Are you searching for a realistic, proven system in real estate to create enough residual income to retire or fund your dreams? I invite you to learn about a passive, turnkey, proven system and approach to real estate where my team of 200 experts can do all the heavy lifting to create the freedom you're searching for. Visit www.liveonpurpose.strongbrook.com to get a free copy of my book, The Straight Path to Real Estate Wealth. Just enter the code FREE at www.liveonpurpose.strongbrook.com.
So, Elayna, you got me going just before the break on this parenting thing. Positive parenting. This might be a new idea for some people, but it makes perfect sense. You're talking about having an influence, and what better way to do that than to start with our own children, who will see our example, and that's how they will learn to interpret things that happen, like the difficult things that happen to you in your life. Mm-hmm. Your daughters see you handling that in a positive way. That's going to teach them something very different than had you stayed in the fetal position for a longer time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think that is the key, and I love that you are so knowledgeable and that you have an expertise in parental guidance, because the thing that we forget sometimes is that the children and everyone in general, really, they learn from our example. We train them on how to treat us. We train them on how to react depending on how we are in the moment and how we show up. So basically, it's not just advice. It's not just words. We really have to be an example, and I also believe in narrating the example. Sometimes we think that, oh, my children see me work hard, so they are going to be hardworking when they grow up. Sometimes we have to narrate and say, I'm working really hard, and this is why. Or I love to read every morning half an hour, and this is why. I love to have integrity, and this is why.
So providing the narration and the explanation for what you're doing
Absolutely
can help to solidify that learning. You just triggered something else for me too, Elayna, because when this happened, when your husband left, and here you are holding the bag yourself, you've got to do everything now.
Yes.
I know sometimes as a parent, I'm tempted to think, gosh, I would love to spend more time with my kids, but I have to work.
Yes.
I think you know what I'm talking about. Can you address that for our listeners?
I would love that because, I was put in a position in which I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but I couldn't anymore. I didn't see that I could do that. That's the common knowledge that you have to choose between one or the other. Either you're 40 hours at work, and for me it was more than 40, or you're spending time with your kids as a stay-at-home mom. So, that's the paradigm that I knew, and all of a sudden I found myself immersed, in work, and I was grateful, of course, that I was able to pay my bills and be, a responsible citizen, but at the same time I dropped my heart at the daycare center. It was like the most unfair trade-off for me because I think that for us we are really called to do something different. But for me, I really wanted to be a mom. I really wanted to spend that time, and I think that there is no right or no wrong. I think that basically everybody does what works for them, but it is the intention, it is the purpose, it is really the priority that we have that determines where we're at. And what that looks like in real life is, okay, if you have really no way of spending more time with your kids, you can be intentional about the little time that you do spend with them and find those teachable moments and find meaningful connection. I will tell you a shocking statistic that will probably make you sick. And that is that in the United States, parents spend an average of 3.5 minutes of meaningful conversation with their children. And that is per week. That is not even per day.
Per week?
Per week.
Oh, no.
Yes. And I understand, we are in a world of distraction and frantic pace, but at the same time, I think you can be and must be, in my opinion, mindful about how we can spend time, and not just spend time, invest time with our children. If you only have 5 minutes when you're driving them to school, turn off the DVD player in your car and talk to your child. They need to know that they are not alone, and I'm telling you of my dark experience in which I felt alone. I was not 5, and it was scary.
Right.
So for them, it is very reassuring to know that they have something that looks at them in the eye, and it doesn't take long to, have a family meal, to have a prayer together or a meaningful conversation. And basically what we do in our home is that every Monday we have a family meeting. So you could probably do it in an hour, 52 hours a year. You could, invest in having a meaningful relationship with your kids. So you don't need a lot of time. I think that we are just saying, we will go to the zoo, we'll go camping for 3 days. Sometimes you're on your phone. So it's really not about the right way to do it or the way that society has told us to, the paradigms that we've grown up with. Is really getting to the core of what you want to achieve as a family and really how to align with that with what you have. If you only have 5 minutes, give them the best 5 minutes they could have. If you have 24 hours, and I'm grateful that I've created that for us, then give them the best 24 hours. But what I'm trying to say is your family is your priority, should be your priority, must be your priority, and you're part of that family as well. Don't forget that.
So you're not saying that we have to go find more time. I don't even know how we would do that, Elayna. But you're saying use the time that we have in the most powerful, productive ways possible by being clear about our priority, staying positive, and you're not even talking about the big things. You're saying the little things make a difference.
Absolutely.
So it might be the time in the car where we turn off the radio or other distractions and just talk during that 5-minute drive to school.
Yes.
Or having a family meal together or a prayer or time that's set aside for just connecting with each other.
I call that the 3 FMs, because it's like tuning into your child. Mm-hmm. And so it's family mission statement. So that's what I was talking about, like how we align to the family purpose and the values of your family. And then the family meals and the family meetings. So those are the 3 FMs. And you tune in to their mind and to their heart, because you can't have a relationship with someone that you don't know. And that is true for them as well. We want them to be connected to us, to trust us, to turn to us, but they don't know who we are.
The 3 FMs. So you're asking people to tune in on your FM dial for a family mission statement, getting clear about the purpose, family meals, and family meetings. Did I get them right? Did I remember?
Yeah, that is perfect. Thank you.
I love it. Elayna, you're doing some great work. You've offered some resources to our listeners. How can they get connected with that?
Well, thank you for asking that generous question. I can connect with them through the positivemom.com. That is my blog, and I have an amazing tribe of people that are subscribed and that follow the post. But I also have a free gift there, and it's a digital action book called Balance Your Passions.
Love it.
Yeah, it's something that will help you make today someday, and forget the illusions and really get clear about your core passions, your core purpose, and how to align with that as an individual, but also as a mom, as a wife, as a human being in general.
Now, do you think us of the other gender would enjoy that as well?
Absolutely.
And I teach you a little bit about that, but you're really a powerful resource, especially for moms, because that's where you've been. That's your experience.
Yes.
But this is, and I want to add my endorsement to this for anyone who especially is looking to balance family and work, all of those things that are on our plate, getting clear about what you're passionate about, what your real priorities are. And here Elayna has offered us this free ebook. I'm on your site right now, Elayna, as I'm looking.
Thank you.
Elayna, I keep trying to change the pronunciation. Right over on the right-hand side, folks, it says, My Free Gift for You. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes.
Balance your passions. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. So as we wrap up here, we've got just a couple of minutes left. What would you say is the place to start? If let's just say someone is in exactly the same place where you were, where they wake up one morning and realize my whole world has fallen apart, or even if it's not that severe, where do they go first? Where do they start?
Okay, well, I would say, ask the question, ask the intelligent question, ask how.
Yes.
If you can't believe, if you can't connect with how, because this got to be very purposeful, then try what if.
Say more.
Okay. And then instead of a to-do list, this is my most, precious advice, because I think that if you do this, then everything else falls into place. Create a to-be list.
To-be list.
Yes, so for me, it was not, okay, I'm going to get a car, I'm going to find a job, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. What I decided was what I was going to be, okay?
Okay.
I decided to be a positive mom. I decided to be fun, to be available, to be purposeful. And that's what I decided to be in that moment of darkness, okay? I did not decide what I was going to do. But the deciding to be, and this is a ritual that I have every day. Instead of saying I'm going to do this and that and the other, I decide what I'm going to be for my family, for myself. as a daughter of God, as a wife. And then from there, my to-do list just falls into place, and it is just amazing because whenever you achieve, you're happy, you're satisfied, you're fulfilled.
So we just got 3 nuggets from you right here in the last minute to ask the powerful how question. Get out of I can't and get on to how can I. Yes. Then you said ask a what if question, and I think you meant, what if I could do this?
Yeah.
Opens up a new possibility, and then trash the to-do list and pick up a to-be list.
Yes.
Maybe not trash it completely, but
put it on hold.
But changing the focus to what can I be today, which does not depend on your circumstances.
Absolutely not.
It just doesn't matter as much as we think it does. Wow. Elayna, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Paul, and thank you for listening.
Amazing conversation today with The Positive Mom. Please go to thepositivemom.com for your free gift and go live on purpose.